Welcome to this important video. In this video, we are going to discuss Python built-in functions, which is an important type of function. Let me review from the previous video that functions are of two types. Some are built-in function and other type is user-defined functions. So built-in functions are those functions which are already stored, already defined in Python. So we do not need to define them or to write them by our own. So already defined functions in the modules or libraries of the Python are known as built-in functions. Built-in functions are of many types like mathematical function, random functions, trigonometric functions, mathematical constants, string, formatting operator, and so on. So we will discuss them one by one in detail. First of all, let's start from mathematical function. Mathematical functions are those functions which are used to perform any mathematical operation. They are already stored in the module of Python which is called math. So the module name in which the math function is stored is called math, or the library is called math. So here are some important mathematical functions. First one is absolute value, APS. This function is used to determine the absolute value of x, which is also known as positive distance, or it is also called magnitude of a number, of a complex number. And similarly, another function is called ceiling function. This function is used to round off the value, and this is used to round off to the higher value. Similarly, next is floor, which is also used to round off, but it round off in such a way that it will display the lower value. Next is used to determine the exponential value, and similarly next is used to determine the square root of any number. So let me execute this one by one by using our software so that we can get clear to it. So I'm going to open my software which is called Python. In this software, Python program is stored and we can execute. We can use any environment to write our program. However, I'm going to use PyCharm. So what I am going to do, I'm going to use, let us suppose x is 9 plus 3j. So what I'm going to do, this is a complex number and I'm going to calculate its value. So z is equal to abs and x, and then I will print z. So let me run this program from here. I'm going to run this code and you can see here is the value whose result has been displayed. So absolute value of this number is 9.4868. How this has been calculated? This has been calculated in such a way that if we write a number as 9 and 3j, then it will calculate in such a way that it will be equal to the square of 9 plus square of 3 and under root. So in this way, it will be calculated as 9.486. Okay, next is ceil. Ceil is a function which is used to round off a number. For example, I have a value x which is 5.44. I am going to execute it in such a way that CEIL and it will display. Let me run this code. Okay, let me run this code and I'm going to run it, and I can see here that this is the error which shows that name ceil is not defined. In fact, there are some functions for what we need to import the module first. Since these functions are stored in math module, so we need to import math module. So first, what will we do? This line will import the math module to execute a function. Okay. In this line, I am going to import math module in which the ceil function is stored. And when I am going to use this function, then first I will write the name of module and then the function. So this is the way to write or way to call the function. How we call the function? First we write the module name, then we put dot, and then we use function name. So in this way I'm going to run this code, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this code, and you can see here 5.44 is round off to 6. Here is the answer 6 at the output. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to perform another function which is called floor. Now I will use just floor at here, FLOOR for floor function, and I'm going to run this code, and whenever I will run this code, then it will again round off, but in this way it round off in such a way that it will round off to the previous value, which is 5. When we use ceil, then it will round off to the next higher value. In this way we can also calculate the exponential value of this variable. So we can use here exponential function. Again, what we did, we first import the module, then we write math, and then we put dot, and then we use the function name. Then I'm going to run it again, and you can see here is the exponential of 5.44. Next is square root function. So in this case I'm going to change the value of x, which is, let's suppose, 9, and I'm going to use square root. Again I will use the name of module first, and then name of function, and then I will run it. So when I run it, you can see here square root of 9 is 3, which is displayed at the output below. So in this way the program is executed. So these are some important functions. Okay, next is another math function which is called log. This is used to determine the natural log of any value. So in this way this is log. Similarly log 10. So this is used to determine the log as well, but this is not natural log, this is log of base 10. Similarly, we can find maximum number from a range. Similarly, we can find minimum number from a range. And in this way, we can also use mod f to separate the fractional and integer part. And similarly, we can use this function to determine the power of x, which means x power y. So in this way we can calculate or perform these functions as well, similarly as we performed before. So let me execute them as well. First I will use the log of x. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put log in place of square root, and when I run this function, you can see here is the answer for log of this value. And when I use this is the natural log, and when I use log 10, then it will also calculate the log, but this is log with base 10. So this is the answer. Similarly, we can also use power. Let me use this power. For power we use POW, and if I write 2 first and then 3, it means 2 power 3. So it will calculate the answer, which is 2 power 3, and we can see here in output it is 8. Similarly, we can also use mod f to find the integral, and if I write here mod fx, then I am going to write the value of x as 9.333. So what will it do? It will separate the fractional and integral part. You can see here this is the decimal part, which is also known as fractional part, and after comma there is integral part. So in this way the integral part and fractional or decimal part are separated. Next function is also used to determine the largest value from any given range. For example, we have three numbers. We want to perform maximum from ranges 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we want to calculate what is the maximum value. We will run it, and again this maximum function is not the math function, it is just logical function, and we can directly call it because it is not stored in any other module. So what I am going to do, I am going to run this code again without any importing module. You can see here it is displaying the maximum value. Similarly, if I use here minimum min, then it will display the minimum value from the given range, which is 3. So in this way, math functions and other functions like logical functions are used, and they are called in Python. So thank you so much for this video. In the next video, we will continue for more built-in functions. Thank you.